Hey, what's up, everybody? I've been watching a few things, so I kind of started rendering or continuing to ink out this Michelangelo piece that I was working on last night with the pens a little bit more. So if it looks like it's some work has been done to it since the other day, that's because that's exactly what happened, or since yesterday, I should say. So yeah, I'm just wrapping it up. I'm working on the small brush now. I already did the brush. I did the medium-sized pen. I did the fine-sized pen. So now I do the small pen, and then I just do the finishing touches with the extra small afterwards. But I don't know, what I got on my mind right now is I went out to go see, or a friend of mine came back. He was out of town for a little bit, and when he came back, we went to go see that movie Straight Outta Compton, the whole NWA biopic or documentary, whatever you want to call it. It was good, man. It's really good. I recommend it for anyone, especially if you're even aware of NWA, you know. You know, my friend and I, that's kind of like, that was our shit. That's what we watched or listened to. So it was a good trip down memory lane. I mean, I've had Eazy-E albums for a long time now, and I always listened to Bone Thugs growing up. So, you know, that was all, it was like a no-brainer for me to go and watch that movie. I just didn't expect to be watching it the day it came out, but my friend hit me up. I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. I wouldn't watch that movie with anyone else, you know. But anyways, so I came home. I just been just thinking about the movie and playing it back in my head over and over. This is a really good movie. And started instead of not working on this picture, I kept working on it, but I didn't start recording because I was watching things, and I don't want to have like my attention divided if I don't have to. That way I can kind of just focus on you know, talking to the camera, talking to whoever's watching. Yeah, I hope you can tell that the picture is coming out. I'm trying to reposition my light so it doesn't look so burned out on the screen. I keep looking at it. It's super. You can't really pick out much of what's going on. Oh well, it's just the way it goes until I get a better webcam. You know, priorities. I gotta get a vehicle first. I mean, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, man, screw it. I don't really want a vehicle. You know, it's just too much drama. All this car hunting, car shopping, getting a car that's, you know, that's actually gonna work. checking Carfax, checking prices, you know, dealing with insurance, dealing with the banks, dealing with the dealers or the sellers. All I want to do is draw some pictures, man. You know, I didn't want to say much about the movie that I saw, but I keep thinking about it. There's only one thing that I really want to say about it. Anyone who knows Eazy-E knew that he was the one who gave Bone Thugs and Harmony their big break. And like I said, anyone who knows me knows that I always listen to Bone Thugs and Harmony. And naturally, they came up in the movie. Their name came up in the movie at some point. And I was just sitting there thinking, there was one part where they were like, yo, Bone Thugs dropping this new, you know, this new song, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to hear it? And I was like, ooh, you know, obviously it's a documentary about the rap group, so obviously there's a lot of music already in the movie, throughout the movie. That's what it's all about. So yeah, when I heard that, I was like, ooh, yeah, play that Bone Thugs, son. And they didn't do it. And I was like, damn. That's the only part I'm going to talk about. Just because I want to put it out there where I really wanted them to play some of that. You know, they played so many songs already in that movie. They could have, you know, played it for a few seconds or something. I'm just saying. Either way. Yeah, it's coming out. Coming along fine. Yeah, plus I didn't mind doing some inking without the recording. You know, you guys get the idea if you watch any of my older videos. It's all the same stuff. I start with the biggest brush and then I work my way down. Just because I used to work my way up, you know, and I would start with the small ink, you know, technical pen, and then work my way up to the big brush and just start filling in all the heavy blacks and stuff. But what ended up happening with doing that was I was wasting so much time. Wasting so much time just overworking that small pen. And then when I got to the bigger pens after that, I would just go over some lines from my smaller pens. It was like I was doing double the work. So I mean, there was just so much time being wasted with it. So it didn't make too much sense to me. And then I just decided, I was like, all right, well, let me go from big to small. And the only risk that I have with that is if I cover up something that I didn't intend to cover up, you know, on accident, or if I'm not paying attention. But that's one of those things, man, that you just gotta face as an artist. You just gotta get used to things and make it work. Yeah, this whole going to bed early thing so I can catch a ride with my coworker. in the morning, man, that is, it is taking its toll, because here it is Friday night coming up on midnight. It's 11:45. Midnight's right around the corner, and I'm tired. It's just because my body's just getting used to going to sleep at this time. I'm like, man, it's Friday night. I ain't trying to go to sleep. I mean, sure, I'm not going to be going out and partying or doing anything exciting, but damn, at least let me stay up and draw, you know? Alright. Okay, I'm going with this small brush. Now all I got left is the extra small, just to fill in the details and to keep the energy of the original pencils and all the scratch lines that I do. It's my favorite part. One, because I'm wrapping up this portion. I know I'm nearing the end of inking and I can start using some markers and some colored pencils. You know, going back to Bone Thugs, man. I mean, the younger generation, anyone who's under, I don't know, 20 years old or something, maybe even older than that. You know, they're probably like, Bone Thugs who? You know, I don't know. But you really got to think about it. Watching that movie really brings you back to the 90s. Anyone who was alive to experience all that time with the East Coast, West Coast, and the gangster rap, and how different it was then compared to how it is now. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, if they were to play that Bone Thugs song in the movie, just how different of a sound that they had, you know? Because here I am listening, you know, obviously they had NWA songs playing, which is cool. I love NWA. But yeah, man, Bone Thugs, classic Bone Thugs, man, they really did have a sound that just nobody was prepared for. And of course there was other rap groups who had similar sounds, or rappers who sounded similar, not saying that they were ripping off of Bone Thugs, but you know, it was all somewhat similar, like Do or Die or Twista, I should say, my bad. But, you know, I mean, Bone Thugs and Harmony got their name down right. Like, literally, that harmony part was what set them apart. I mean, if you listen to anything that they do nowadays, personally, I mean, and this is with all due respect because I love them so much, but if you listen to the things nowadays, I feel like they're missing a harmony part. You know, you listen to something back in the day, and just like simple examples of like in their Eternal 99 album, probably the best album, you know, the most classic or most notable one, and Art of War was another good one to demonstrate their style and things like that. And not many people had albums that sounded like those ones, you know. And there was just things like they weren't going chorus, verse, verse, or verse, chorus, whatever it is. You know, they would kind of all together jump in and out. You know, maybe go verse, chorus, chorus, verse, or anything like that. I mean, they had 5 members, and all 5 of them were able to sing, rap. So they just had this. They had the ability to do more than what other artists were bringing to the table. You listen, you know, I would definitely tell people to go listen to Bone Thugs, especially their older stuff. But hell, get their new stuff. World War III isn't bad. But yeah, you get Eternal 99, get Art of War, get Resurrection. Resurrection still has one of my most favorite songs I've ever heard, which I believe it was called Battle Cry. But yeah, those guys, they just had a sound that, I mean, today you would hear it and you'd be like, yeah, I've heard that stuff in music today. What's the big deal? The singing combined with the rapping, you know, anyone who's young, you don't know that wasn't common back then. You know, you had New York rappers who were spitting about, you know, living in New York and the hustle and grind that's out there, and gangster stuff, you know, and all that gangster shit that every rapper was doing. It was East Coast, West Coast. It was battle raps back and forth. A lot of violence, obviously, and everything was about being hard, and there wasn't nothing hard about singing. You know, you can't be like, I'm gonna put a cap in your ass and do it melodically or harmonizing with the music at the same time. But Bone Thugs, they were able to do that, and I'm willing to say they were the first to do that. You know, because like story raps were very big back then, but Bone Thugs, not that they weren't telling stories in their songs, but they just had something, I don't know. I'm a big fan of theirs, obviously. I really enjoyed the music. I still do. You know, I listen to it these days and it kind of takes me back, and it reminds me of one of simpler times when I was younger, but it also reminds me of, I mean, nowadays I draw and I enjoy myself, and not to say that I've peaked, because I'm nowhere close to it, not to say that I'm successful, because I still haven't reached my goals, but it reminds me of a time when I was hungry, or, you know, maybe even hungrier. So when I listen to those, I'm kind of reminded of myself from back in the day. And you know, it's funny how music can transport you back. And, you know, I get reminded of how I'm hungry, and I get reinvigorated, things like that, which, you know, to me it's priceless, you know. So yeah, I'll always be forever thankful to Bone Thugs for that, because I'll always have that as long as I could listen to their music some way. I got all the albums, I got all the underground albums, got all the mixtapes, got all the singles. I even got like most of the Mo Thug stuff. So yeah, I really wish they would have played their song in the movie. Just because you knew it was gonna be like, it may not have been something out of their Creeping on the Come Up album. It was probably gonna be something on their Eternal 99 album. That was probably what it was gonna be. Which is arguably one of their best albums. It's a classic album. You look up Bone Thugs, you look up pictures or images or even just on the web, that album's probably gonna pop up. Everybody should own a copy of that album. So yeah, watching that movie was a nice trip down memory lane. A lot of people are saying that movie's coming out very timely, like according to everything that's going on today with all these police shootings and things like that, and NWA, one of their biggest hits, Fuck the Police. You know, a lot of people are thinking like, oh, it's almost like a call to arms or something like that. I mean, honestly, I don't know about all that. I don't know if the movie stands for all that. It could. Kind of what I kind of got from it was it's kind of just a reminder of what's been, you know, because all that stuff in the 90s, it happened. It actually went down. It actually happened that way. So, you know, it's a part of history. You could look it up. And these days, I just don't know. I don't know if, like, who's the voice of, you know, like, musically, who's the voice of dealing with the police or the corruption or the state of the country. I don't know, like you hear Kendrick Lamar he's a smart rapper, but I don't have any of his albums. I wouldn't know what he talks about. I don't know if he's the one, but I can't think of anything that anyone's done to kind of address the state of the issues these days. I'm not saying that there's not any rappers out there doing that. I'm just saying there's none doing it like how NWA did it back then. Or else, you know, with my ear to the ground, with my ear to the streets, or with the friends that I have, I mean, I feel like I would have heard about something by now. Or even on podcasts, listening to DJs talking. I don't hear anyone talking about anyone, you know, or maybe it's just the way that things are these days. Maybe someone has done something that just gets swept under the rug so quick because, you know, a new cat video came out or a new music video came out, or, you know, Nicki Minaj's glorious ass popped out somewhere. Who knows? there's just so much content. Maybe it just I don't know, man. Alright, I think I'm done with the inks. As you can see, I just got still just the watercolors and the inks. I'm going to hit it with some markers. I'm trying to figure out what markers I want to use. Do I want to just use my base markers, or do I want to dip into my larger stock that has a lot more colors available? Because I mean, I'm going to be going over the markers with some colored pencils, and you know, I gotta and I've had my old markers, you know, they're a couple years older than the newer one. My starter kit box set that only came with like a dozen colors or something like that. You know, this one right here, had this one for a couple years, so these markers are a little bit more worn, more used, all that stuff. Got to get rid of them somehow, because I know I got more inside my larger marker kit. I can show you guys. Yikes. See, like, check that out. See what I'm saying? So I know that I have whatever colors are in my basic one that's old. I know I have those in that new one, so maybe I'll just use these, go back to the base colors. And again, same way I did my watercolors, you start off with the lightest color and work your way up. Lightest color being yellow. And basically same principle that I used for the watercolors. You know, you could use yellow to brighten up some areas. So just like his nunchucks are going to be orange, I might hit them with the yellow first, so that when I hit them with the orange, it's not just like a blah color. It actually has like a little bit of kick to it. That's another thing, man. When I draw, I keep forgetting that people are texting me. I learned to ignore them so quick. Excuse me while I text. Good. Better clothes you want to be, rather than who you're being. Alright, back to the markers. And that's another thing. Because I'm doing colored pencils after this, I don't have to be super tight with the markers. I can just hit it, and it's kind of just like adding a little bit more to the base. The base color laid down by the watercolors. So like I said, the real colors are going to come in with the excuse me, with the colored pencils. Those, I think I have like a good 48 colors or something like that. A very thin set, so it's like some super hardcore pencils. First thing that I ever got good with, and as far as like traditional skills go, I had an art teacher back in high school, and Ms. Mark, Deerfield High. What year would that be? 02? Something like that? She every day in class you would have to create this rectangle with a ruler that's 1 inch by 4 inches, and then within that 1 inch by 4 inch rectangle that you would draw on a sheet of paper, you would grab a colored pencil and fill that in and make a gradient out of it. Anyone who does like Photoshop or works digitally at all, I'm sure you've seen like a gradient before, or you know, you select the color and you can see the color and half toned all the way down to 0. So it starts like, let's say you select blue, and you know, you have a blue color, you see a gradient from like the purest of that color blue, 100% of that color, faded or half toned all the way down to 0, so it's white. Imagine doing that with a colored pencil on paper, that 1 by 4 inches. That's basically how we started our day every day. You couldn't start the assignment until you did that. So every day everyone was expected to do that, and then you can get started on your assignment. You know, it was cool. Do I want to use yellow on this? Yeah, I'll just do it in some of the shaded parts. So yeah, by doing that every single day, and I took it seriously. I always took any art class seriously, just because I was always willing to learn. But then I would hardly ever apply it at home, because it was still just schoolwork to me. But yeah, those color pencils is something I got good at. I'm not ashamed for saying it either. It's just I've been trying to get better with faster mediums lately, like markers and painting and things like that. So I haven't done too many color pencils. Last time I really did a good color pencil job was with on a collaboration piece I did with a old school buddy of mine. This girl, Kat. We collaborated on this piece that I call Queen of Hearts. I don't think that one's on my I don't think that one's on my gallery online yet. So only people who've seen me in person have probably seen that picture. Or if you jump on my Instagram, I would have had some pictures of it, but that was from like earlier this year. So it would be like way back there. I guess you might be able to find it on my Facebook. Yeah, considering this is only a 6x4 size piece, I'm actually looking forward to doing some colored pencils, because since it's a slower medium, but on a smaller sheet of paper, it's no big deal. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but this yellow marker is really making everything pop. It adds so much energy, and considering Mikey's character, such an energetic character, I mean, it's kind of perfect. That's another thing to consider when you're coloring things, is the mood, Do I want to add yellow to the shell? Why not? Right. Sweet. Now, since these are markers, I don't want to just straight up color these things in flat. I kind of just want to, like I said, lay down a second layer, second coating of base, but I still kind of want to be aware of lighting and my light source and all that stuff. Alright. So yeah, the darker I go with these colors, especially since I'm not trying to go nuts with them, the less use I'm going to get out of them. So these darker the color, the less they're used. Not because I don't like them, just because it's not necessary. Wonder if I want to do any orange on the yellow shell. Yeah, why not? Why not just a little bit? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just kind of wherever the shaded areas are. It won't hurt. Like I said, the darker the areas, the more risks you can take. The more risks you take, the better artist you become, man. Don't be afraid to take some risks. You can always work on the picture later. I'm thinking I actually might want to use gray on the shell. Just kind of that's how I'm feeling right now. Not too much. Right, use a gray on this here. Yikes, what was that? I feel like I just dropped something. No. Okay, it's just a cat. I forgot how much gray Mikey had. Speaking of orange, be a good base for this necklace. Okay, anywhere else? No? Okay. Is there any red I want to use? I don't think so. Is there any blue I want to use? I don't think so. What about this dark gray? It's more like a navy blue, but I use it kind of like a dark gray most of the time. I didn't use anything. Top's part of the shell. Yikes! I got too much crap on my desk. So yeah, I've been kind of looking to branch out into new mediums. Like I said, I'm always trying to better myself and practice new things. So I bought just like the starter kit of markers that I showed you earlier with just a few colors on it. Just like that, I bought myself recently a starter kit for spray cans, and I literally bought the same color arrangement as the markers. Since the markers were able to serve me well, I was like, well, if I get spray cans, what colors do I care for? Which one should I get? And I was like, alright, if I get like those starter kit colors, should be good, right? Probably want to use the green marker a little bit. Just to get some of these darker shaded areas. Yeah, man. I love using these markers when I know I don't have to really commit to doing anything. When I'm able to use them very loosely. One, I like the fact that I get to just get it out quick. But two, makes me look forward to the color pencils. The fact that I'm laying out some decent groundwork on these things. Coming out alright. Can you guys tell that it's getting rendered out a little bit better? You can never tell. And it's just with a few markers added on top. I do want to use a little blue. Just a little bit. dark green, and I think that'll be it for the color pencils, or I mean for the markers. Just add a little bit more dimension. To these shaded areas of the green. How long have I been recording? I feel like I should be at like an hour now or something. Oh yeah. Hour and a couple of minutes. Man, I'm recording so much I'm starting to get my times down. It's alright, I'm almost done with the markers here. I guess I'll cut it off after the markers and probably start a new video with the color pencils. Not that bad. There we go. Go. Trying to get some sort of atmospheric type of thing down with this background. Pretty much failing, but it's not bad. Again, something I could fix with the color pencils, which I'm about to get to now. Here it is, a little bit over an hour. You saw me do what, a little bit of inking, a little bit of markers. Oh man, what else do you need? So let me bring it up and show you guys. Let's see. There we go. So yeah, coming along. It is coming along. Stay tuned for the color pencils. It's where the magic happens. Alright, this is GMrDrew. Thank you for watching.